Technica. So how do you enforce isolation and prevent breakout from a node to another tenant's environment?
So that depends on the layer of requirement, but primarily virtual machines, strongly configured virtual machines. And if you need deeper isolation than that, then a whole node to a tenant.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
A whole node to a tenant.
Okay. So you can isolate and
we can isolate
to a tenant.
It's configurable. You basically have to. So this is where the templates come in. We create a pattern in the templates, and then you just request that pattern depending on what your needs are.
Okay.
So we take all that configuration complexity away and put them into templates.
And so the only enforcement, though, is just by placement of the workload.
It's workload placement
in there.
Well, on the nodes, for example, we're configuring the C groups so that there's no crossover between the VMs. There's a lot of host configuration components. We're also making sure, for example, that there's no shared NUMA nodes across the VMs. So we can configure, and that's in fact is the next slide. As we start to look about how we configure the virtualization space, we're able to match the physical node configuration into the virtual machine. And then at the network layer, we're creating that same level of isolation. So if I have the DPUs in place as an example, the DPUs present a VIF into the host. There's no host access into the DPU configuration. That VIF can only be linked to a specific virtual machine. Even if that virtual machine dies, I cannot connect another VM to that same VIF without reconnecting it, reconfiguring it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to do that. Now, can you break out of a VM? There are ways.
Mm-hmm.
We're protected against most of them in this day and age via configuration, by KVM's capabilities. Are we looking for that in our monitoring? Certainly. Everything comes with an inherent some layer of risk. But what we're also saying is, if you want true multi-tenancy, you can't put Kubernetes at the host layer and try and do vClusters or something like that, because those are inherently unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kubernetes by nature, even well-configured Kubernetes, is relatively easy to break out of into the host.
Right.
So that's why we now layer up these layers of, and it creates a certain level of complexity that we're trying to handle, but that's how we layer this up.